TJ, what was life like for you growing up?
Yeah, growing up was everyone thinks their upbringing was normal, right? So, I'm trying to not use those words of, oh, I grew up in a normal this and that, because it's not. Of course,
Yeah.
from your life to my life, it's not, nothing's normal, right? So, but no, grew up in Northeast Ohio, actually, in the little township of Litchfield, Ohio. So just up near Medina, or in
Okay.
Medina County, I should say. So yeah, grew up with farm fields around it. Grandparents, I still am of a generation where I remember grandma and grandpa's family farm, which is a quickly declining stat of people, which used to be just about everybody, right? Go back far enough, somebody farmed, did something like that,
Yeah.
you know. So yeah, that was my upbringing of kind of having that, and did what was kind of funny is, again, from my point of view, kind of a normal thing. So grew up in a Christian home. Our family went to church very religiously, and even went to a Christian school. Actually, even did a year of of Bible college, but that's a story for another time. But but that was kind of the childhood upbringing. But even though around everybody blue collar, my
Yeah.
dad was actually one of the only ones that kind of had, even though had a blue collar job, all the way up until about the time when I was born, and he was in sales, hotel sales specifically, or not hotel sales, excuse me, hotel supply sales.
Okay.
So you have all of those little soaps, the little to towels, to I mean, if you opened up our towel closet or linen closet, it pretty much looked like we just stole like every hotel's Holiday Inn,
Yeah.
Intercontinental, all of them, had everything there. So that was kind of, in short, that was growing up in Northeast Ohio. But biggest thing, probably kind of remember, like as far as impact, that was kind of family life. But up in Northeast Ohio, I was also kind of last generation to really remember. I mean, now it's the Rust Belt, but I was kind of
Yep.
last when it wasn't quite rusty yet. So, you still had the steel mills, you had 5 Ford plants open when I was a kid, and saw every single one of those shut down, except for half of like the main Cleveland Ford plant,
Yeah.
which my uncle still works at, and now it's in fully operational. But anyways, but that's kind of that. You think of as a kid, you're like, wow, blue collar area, and you saw even before, this wasn't 2008 stuff. This was 2000 stuff, or even a touch earlier. You
Yeah.
saw people that were kind of that loss, and transition, and being able to work through that. So, I guess I
Yeah.
didn't mean to go so doom and gloom, but
No,
that was
I
that was life.
I'm smiling because and only the people from Northeast Ohio get this. When
Yeah,
you're asked, where are you from? Everyone says Northeast Ohio, and that goes from Cleveland all the way over to Youngstown,
oh
right? And
yeah,
Youngstown, and I grew up south of Youngstown for the majority of my life, and it's always funny when people are like, "Oh, I'm from Northeast Ohio," and then it's followed by, this town called, or
right.
what.
Oh yeah,
So in relation to Medina, how close? Like, which direction are you going? You're going east
9 miles to the what would that be, to the west of
to the
Medina.
west. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Awesome.
So we were almost, yeah, I mean, on the edge, Lorain County and all the rest of,
Okay.
all that.
Okay.
So, but we were really close to that. So,
Yeah, it's just always so funny when my ears perk up, right? It's like Northeast Ohio. Which part are we gonna be
yeah.
close? But
Oh,
so
same thing. Same thing with Cleveland. No one's really from Cleveland.
well,
We're very rarely. Yeah, I'm from the Cleveland area. Oh yeah,
yeah,
which part? Oh, really? You're like 30 minutes outside of Cleveland. You're not really from Cleveland. And I say
yeah.
it's. I know I'm guilty as charged.
I Same. My high school years, I went to Madison, Ohio, which is east of Cleveland on Lake Erie, and it's the same
Uh,
thing, right? I went to high school up in the Cleveland area, but not really 35, 40 minutes away.
yep, exactly.
But so growing up, with the background, father in sales, kind of for your life, did you end up tagging along with him on any of those things? Was sales something that was just kind of, in your household, or where you're like just completely not a salesperson like myself?
Yeah, define sales. Am I right? I mean, everybody's selling something,
Sure.
whether it's just, hey, do you like me? Or, or you're actually selling deep sea drilling equipment. I don't know.
Right.
And so you've got, so I did go from some things, or picked up, when my dad has like a massive collection of pens, like, all the samples of pens in the car or whatever, and you pick up something, it's like, oh, they wouldn't buy this one because this is 25 cents a piece. You really can lead with this one, but then really this one's only a nickel a piece. So why would you sell them with this one? You can get them on, just like little things like
Yeah.
that were little lessons that maybe were they weren't tricks or anything like
Sure.
that. It was just a progression of gaining trust with people, which is, hey, how's that different from now? Like, how is the faster that you can show people in my line of work and in both of our line of work, the faster you can show people, hey, I'm not here to screw you over. I'm
Yeah.
here actually to be that fiduciary. The faster that someone understands that, because everyone has their guard up,
Yep.
and there's nothing wrong with that. They don't know me from Adam. Why would they automatically trust me? Here I'm coming in, and taking down notes about their house or whatever. So it's some of those same things that probably, really, I guess, until actually talking this through right now, maybe I didn't give my dad enough credit on that. But,
Yeah.
but
It's
you
just,
know,
yeah, it's always interesting to me, right? It's like, I've had agents on here where their parents were in the business before, right? And I've had agents
yeah,
where, their family was in sales, and some that were completely, you know, not salesy, right? And it's always fascinating to me because I don't have kids, but I can only imagine, if I did have kids, that I would probably be pumping them with like podcasts and all of these other different, because that's what I enjoy doing, right? So, but yeah, it's always interesting. So TJ, lead me up to like
yeah.
college, high school, college, getting into the career field. What were some of those next couple steps in your life?
Yeah, so coming here to, well, I should say back up. So I didn't want to be a townie in Litchfield, Ohio, which, I have some absolutely great friends that not barely any of them stayed, really. It was
Sure.
either military, continue to work on the farm, because I did work on a couple farms through high school and things like that. But, and so I just was like, I don't really, there's not really much opportunity. And obviously that was at that time, like when in high school, because I graduated in '08, so kind of crazy time.
Yeah.
So there weren't a lot of job opportunities, and so it was either go away to college, or go off to the military, or stay and farm.
Yep.
So I didn't like any of my options, and so, but no, in that time, a lot of kind of influence, people that were of great influence in my life, were just like, hey, if you don't know what to do with your life, just go away to Bible college for a year. At least, it might stick your head on straight. At least you'll at least have some sort of understanding, a deeper understanding of how to read the Word of God. So that's obviously very
Sure.
important to me. So I said, sure, why not? And so I actually went to a very, very small Bible college down in Beckley, West Virginia, Appalachian Bible College. And they, and so did that thing. And so it's kind of like, yeah, I'm not really planning on going into vocational ministry. That's not it's not, that's not, nothing wrong with that, obviously. But I'm
Yeah.
just saying that wasn't really what the trajectory, and it was just kind of, that was all they really taught. And so anyway, so exited from there, came back from West Virginia, and so again, didn't want to be a townie. And so my brother had just moved back from, my brother's 12 years older than me, so he actually moved back to Ohio, but moved to Columbus area, Dublin. And so I said, hey, let me be your brother in the basement. He had two kids, so it's kind of funny, my niece and nephew. And so, hey, let me be your brother in the basement for a year. I'm just going to come down to Columbus and I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
anyways, long story short, without all the details, I had $1,000 in my pocket, and I drove my '93 red Honda Civic down here to Columbus, and I said, "Here I am, Columbus, Ohio," and I've been saying that ever since. But Well, that's kind of, but